central experience for me was going to work for David Lean, which happened in the mid-'80s. I wrote a screenplay based on Joseph Conrad's Nostromo, and I went to work like a commuter every day to David's house for a year, except for Sundays, and began to put together what few principles I possess as a screenwriter. David, of course, was an editor, so what preoccupied him the most was how to get from one scene to another. He once said to me that the most important thing in any film was that you made sure the last image of one scene and the first image of the next scene meshed together. His theory was that a film is actually comprised of 8 or 10 or a dozen chunks, and within those chunks there needs to be a very strong, what he called a rope of narrative, and that you know, if you did this right, if you worked it right, the audience would not be aware of the liberty that I was talking about at the beginning. In other words, a sense of inevitability would take over. One scene would flow into another in a way that was questionable, really, that stopped you from your mind from wandering, because you sort of knew, half knew what was going to happen next, half didn't know what was going to happen next, and it was always a question of choosing the right sequence of scenes. We spent about a week once on there's a scene in Conrad's novel in which the Revolutionary Army occupies this small town.